to your daily dose of DragonFaether. I cannot sleep, and either can you. We are here with my Kuromi unicorn. I have some other plushies. You know, we got the dream dragon. I am literally in my bed, just chilling. I still haven't been able to do all the clearing stuff, but we have some exciting news. Okay, we got a little. Hold on, can you see that? Can you see that right there? Do you see what that is? Do you see what that is? It's the YouTube play button. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't believe it's finally here. We're not gonna open it in this stream today. Sorry. But we will be opening it in like a live stream party. So we're excited. I do not know how long I'll be on, mostly just because like I don't know. We're not sure. So yeah. Karika James, hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to your daily dose of DragonFaether. I can't sleep, and neither can you. So if you're excited to hang out until we can get to bed, leave a like on the video because it's amazing, wonderful to have you guys here. I was just, do you see this? Do you see this right here? What do you think that could be, huh? I can't show you too much of it because it'll literally show you my address, but I'm super excited, you guys. My YouTube silver play button for 100,000 subscribers came in the mail. It's right there. I'm not opening it in this video because we're going to do like an actual like unboxing live party here pretty soon. And we have like a really exciting stream planned for it. I'm really excited for it. Archdragon, hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to your daily dose of DragonFaether. I cannot sleep and either can you. So I'm so happy to have you here. Hey, hi, hello. Am I saying your name right? Is it Charika James or is it Karika James? I'm trying my best to say it correctly because we all deserve to have our names said correctly. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a good snack, have a drink maybe. I'm just drinking water, so it's unfortunately plastic bottled water. But it's because we are working on getting our health back together. I'm super excited to take you guys here on that journey. Coffee sounds so good right now, actually. I just had some medication because of my like cramps and like my foot pain a little bit, but I might have to have more, just depends, you know. We're doing our best here. I've gotten some weird some weird news about my foot injury, actually. Part of my foot has kind of lost feeling a little bit. I don't really know what to do about it. There's like a part of my foot on the top of my foot that's just like when you touch it, I just like can't really feel it the same way that I used to. It's very scary. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm very lucky to have a friend who has a oxygen chamber machine. And she told me that she had a foot injury, a much worse foot injury than mine. And after 20 years, she ended up getting into the like oxygen machine, and it ended up giving her some of the feeling that she had like lost back in her foot. So I have my fingers crossed that if I do the oxygen chamber therapy, I can get some feeling back in my foot, and I'm hoping that maybe the oxygen chamber therapy will also help with my period cramps as well. We're kind of just like working on setting up a day for that, but when I do that, I will absolutely bring you guys along and like show you guys the machine, show you guys how it works, and just, you know, like just bring you along for the journey. I also recently got some of this to try for like, cause I'm pretty sure that like most of my health issues are hormone related. So I got this, the Ripple Effect Wild Yam Cream, and I am going to do probably an in-depth review, like an actual video review of this on my channel. I don't know if I'll make it like a shorts review or if I'll make it like an actual YouTube video. I guess it will probably depend on how good this product is. But for all of the women who I know personally, who I've met in forums or on TikTok specifically, or just in my life, who struggle with like hormone issues, they go with this kind of thing. So I'm really excited to try that. Um, but mostly like I've been like in this like I've been in this like phase where like I'm like what's the word? It's very transformative, but like I'm on my process of like emerging from my chrysalis, I guess, and I'm just waiting for my wings to dry off until I fly. That's like pretty much how I feel. Like I've just like done so much work over decades of my life to like get the lifestyle that I have now, and like I couldn't have done it without the help of my dragon guardians. And like I've been recently being pushed by my dragons to write as much as I possibly can, to write as many pages and as many journals as I can daily, to connect with them as best as I can, because honestly, like, you know, in my life, I realized that the best gift that I have been given is the ability to read, write, and sing, like speak and sing, because not everybody has those gifts. Like, and I think a lot of people forget, you know, like, which is what my, you know, my injury on my foot really taught me, is that like how special and precious life is. Like the fact that I got injured and I kind of lost a little bit of feeling on my foot, like 1, 2, 3 seconds of an attack potentially took some of the feeling away in my foot for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like that is just like really humbling. You know what I mean? Like that really just kind of put things into perspective for me, and it made me realize that I have to be grateful for everything I have right now. Right now. I don't have any other time besides right now. Like it's not a rush to be here right now. Like we need to stop being in a rush to get to the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. Like I was so caught up in like trying to create this perfect future for myself and trying to heal myself from the pain of my past that I had no room to be in the present moment. I had no presence about me. It was just like I had an explanation for this issue and I had like a reason and rhyme for that issue, and like sure, maybe to an extent it was reasons, but like I would hide behind the reasons of why I was doing things to avoid being accountable for like the way that I had allowed myself to become, you know? And that's why like my dragon guardians, like ever since, like I've just like made this shift in my life to explicitly follow the guiding of my dragons. Like that has brought me miracles overnight. It has brought me the most powerful magic I've ever experienced. It has brought me joy and challenges that I don't think I would have survived before, like without the connection that I have with them now. And that's just a reminder to me that I've really leveled up in my life. And I just really wanted to kind of share that with you guys today, because honestly, like I never really realized that like had I got attacked on my hand, my writing hand, you know, like, and I couldn't write anymore. Like what if I was attacked and I couldn't write anymore? Like what if I was attacked and I couldn't speak anymore and I couldn't sing anymore? Like what if I was attacked and I couldn't read anymore? Like do you understand? Like do you guys think about these things often? Like I think about these things every day now, because like I have been so lucky and blessed to escape so many like situations that should have killed me, that should have like injured me fatally, or just in a way that shifted my whole life trajectory. But for some reason I was just never injured like that. Like I was able to overcome by just a millisecond, or just a fraction of a millimeter of space, that saved me from like the difference between losing my life and the difference between me being divinely protected. And like when something like this happened to me, where I did get attacked and it finally did, like, you know, a freak accident finally did happen to me, it really made me realize like how I have been taking my divine protection and privilege for granted, and how that is not ever going to be allowed to like occur in my life anymore. Like, do you understand? Like, I'm not allowed to take my privileges, my protection, and my provisions in this life anymore for granted. I have to think about them every single day, and I have to think about how I can use them for the best of my healing, for the healing of my bloodline, the generational trauma I carry, and also how can I rectify the affairs of people in the world who have less than I do, who do not have the privilege of my skin color, who do not have the privilege of being born into a family with a lot of money, like who do not have the privilege of being born in America, or like in like a different district from the redlining district, or a different country, like who didn't have the privilege of being born in, you know, like I said, like in a country that you know what I can do. I like really need people to understand that like if you are listening to me right now and you have a phone in your hands, like you are part of the most privileged population on the planet. Like you have to understand that you have such a gift every single day if you're just able to walk. Like you have such a gift every single day if you're able to speak properly, and you don't need like a tube through your throat to help you breathe. Like you're able to write with your hands, you were taught how to read. Like, you know what I mean? I am right-handed, but I can write with my left hand too. I'm just working on getting like better with it. Because like my dragon guardians told me that they want me to get to a point where I can use both of my hands at the same time in the art that I create. Like my dragon guardians give me the most like absolutely gargantuan tasks to accomplish in this life, but it's the least I can do. Why? Because like the least I can do is learn how to better connect with other people who are not like me, because like most of the people like me don't spend any of their day caring or giving a shit about people who aren't like us, you know? And that's changing every day. Please don't get me wrong. Like, you know, like there's more people who look like me now who want to help make it better, who are just trying our best to figure it out. And it's not any of your concern. Like we just need to learn how to listen to you better and take action accordingly. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, the best thing that I have ever learned in this lifetime is how to be present in this moment. You know, like it has taken me my whole entire life to learn how to be present. Like why is that a thing? Like, you know, no wonder why probably so many people feel like they're never really living their lives, like their life is on autopilot. It's because they have no idea how to practice being present in this moment right now. And it's like that's why when I cannot sleep, genuinely, like right now, you know, like I cannot sleep for shit right now, but like I can be present right now because I cannot be asleep. And it's like, who cares what the time is? Like the time is always right now. Like the time is always right here, right now, you know? And this is like something that I kind of get like mad at myself for, like when I don't have like the perfect sleeping schedule, or I stay up late, or I like, I just like all over the place. The sleeping schedule is all over the place. But now I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna allow myself to just be the way that I can be. And if that means that I sleep from 3 p.m. to like 9 p.m. and then I wake up and I'm up all night long and then I go back to bed at 9 a.m., like, why would I punish myself for that? I'm not gonna punish myself anymore. Like the whole entire like world is set up to condition people to punish themselves. Like, don't you guys realize that slavery never left us? It just evolved from being in the physical world to our minds. If you're in like a first world colonized country, do you know what I mean? Like, you're not free. Like, it's no freedom. Like, as long as there's borders, no freedom. Do you understand? Do you make English? Do you understand my English, my friend? No, it's just like English is such a basic language. I would think that if I just said it plainly, they would get it. But like, even my like some of my family, like they just would prefer to like distance themselves from me because they just don't know how to engage with me. Like, I'm so serious. Like, they're just like, I don't know how to contact you. I don't know how to be there for you. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know, you know? But like, you can, if you really wanted to, you would, you know? And because the reason why I know this is because like the family members who really want to are present in my life in any way they possibly can find a way. which is why you will see my dad literally in this chat sometimes, because he knows that sometimes this is the best way to get a hold of me. Like, I'm being so like transparent with you guys right now. I'm just talking absolute nonsense, like not nonsense, excuse me. Like, I think it's like no boundary, if that makes sense. Like, there's no filter, you know. I'm just being very open because like it's late. It's late night. You know. But let's catch up with this chat really quick. You're right. I remember when I was younger, not everyone had internet or even a TV. Yes, Rainbow Luna 1111. Good to see you, by the way. It's just like, you know, I was the same way. When I was like 2, like I grew up like programming computer like programs. Like I would like literally use my dad's hand to like click the mouse and like program things when I was like 1 or 2. But like I'm talking about like the first like old ass computers, right? And I remember that when I was in my like my mom's house, like when we first moved to California, we had a computer downstairs and it was like the only computer we had in the house. And so when my mom wasn't using it, like I had to like kind of like basically schedule time to use the internet when I was a very little girl. And through like growing up, you know what I mean? I like witnessed like the development of phones, and my favorite phone was my BlackBerry that I had. I really wish those phones still existed. But anyway, Witchy Jim, hey, hi, hello, welcome back to your Daily Dose DragonFaether. Same here, can't sleep. I was gonna say, I can't sleep, neither can you. That's funny. Being present is the best feeling in the world when you really feel it, LOLs. Oh, clickety clockety. I love your username, by the way. Very true, Mr. Laser Days. See, my dad is literally in this chat right now. You know? Like, shout out to my dad. He's like, literally, he gets it, okay? Because he just, he just gets it, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I've been realizing that, like, people will show up for you in the best way they know how if they want to. You know, like, for example, when I was injured with my foot, like, and I couldn't walk and I was in a lot of pain, like, my boyfriend was not showing up for me, like, perfectly the way that I wanted him to, but guess what he was doing? His best. And guess what he was doing? More than most, you know? And like it was really hard for me to like see that sometimes through all of the pain and the agony I was going through, because I was just so frustrated. But like that's why it was part of a challenge for me to humble myself to being present, you know? Like I cannot be angry about how others show up for me. Like all I can do is act accordingly, and I can only be angry for how I'm showing up for myself, because that's the only one I can be accountable for, right? Like I can't be, you know, like why is it that like I'm conditioned when something goes wrong in my relationship or my partner isn't like showing up in the way that I'm conditioned to believe they should? Like why is my first thought to be like they have malicious intent towards me and they're not doing enough and maybe this isn't the right relationship with me, instead of is my partner okay? I should go check on them. Like maybe something's happening in their life or in their reality that I'm unaware of that they might need my like support with. Like why isn't my mind gonna go there instead? Like I have to recondition myself, and it's because like, you know, like it's very intentional. They don't want us working together. You know what I mean? Like they don't want us working together because like that's how we evolve and that's how we grow and that's how we give each other power. You know, like we give each other power when we listen to each other. Do you understand me? Like we give each other power when we hit subscribe. Like we give each other power when we leave comments, when we're chatting in the live chat. Like when you guys engage with my channel, you give this channel power, and by extension you give me power. Do you understand? That's why you have to be so specific with how you engage with your internet now, because it is not like the way it was when I was first on the internet. YouTube was a cesspool of fuckery when I was first like, you know, like on the internet. But like now, like YouTube is a business model. Okay. Like it is so like it's a different ecosystem. Okay, so like that's why I had to like almost completely like reinvent the way I engaged with like my platform not only as a creator, but like as a, you know, like a consumer too. Like when I watch other people's content, like I have to be so careful because my brain is so open. Like I love to consider ideas that like I will even consider bad ideas too sometimes because I'm trying to find the logic in it, right? You know, and sometimes there's no logic in it, okay? Rainbow Luna YouTube used to be fun. I hope it's still fun when you're on my channel at the very least. Oh yes, I agree. No, Luna Rainbow, please. I hope, good to see you too, by the way. But I hope that you two are at least having a little bit of fun when you're on this channel. That's I hope to anchor in some of what YouTube used to be on my channel. But I try. Your channel is very different. That is very lovely to hear. I hope in a good way, because some people think I am different in a way that needs to go to the loony bin, is what they say, but I digress. Anyway, the only thing I was really trying to like say with that whole tangent is like, you know what? I really just am trying my best, and like I am not perfect, and like I also am a little bit of an airhead, and I'm really good at forgetting things. And like you also have to understand, like I have chronic illnesses like when it comes to my period, and I have to use things like cannabis to cope with that because I cannot get pain management medication from the American healthcare system. It's been a nightmare. So some of the side effects of my medication is like memory like loss a little bit. I am very curious to scan my brain with just what I've done in my life. I'm very curious, okay? I would really love to have access to brain scans on a monthly basis, maybe even a weekly basis. Just curious, genuinely. I want like if like when I go to the doctors, if they're gonna treat me like a pincushion, I'd rather just like treat myself like the guinea pig experiment. You know what I mean? So yeah. Hey witchy girl, it's a school night for me. Speaking of slavery, this corporate slave has to try to get some sleep. Good to see you, and have a good stream with the hatchlings. Good night. Love you, Dad. Good night, DragonFaether. I hope you're doing good. But yeah, thanks for popping in. And yeah, I mean, like here's the thing. Like, I'm aware of like how everything's like trying to enslave you and stuff like that. But like, that's why I derive so much fun and joy from learning ways to free my mind and to like just experience my reality. And one thing that I've learned recently is anytime something makes you afraid or something makes you question yourself in a shameful way, like you should be ashamed of what you believed in, or you should be ashamed of what you thought of originally before said idea was presented to you. Anything that makes you anxious, or like there's like one other word that I'm really looking for. Dragon Guardians, can you help me find it? Apathetic is the word. When you're in that type of energy, it can be really hard to move through it. But what I've learned, the best way is to not move through it. The best way is to not avoid it. The best way is to be present with it. And it's what everything in this world is designed to keep you from. Like here, let me tell you. Just look at my room, for example. Look at this room. It just looks like a mess. Why? Mostly just because I brought all my shit in here. But why? It's because if you really want me to break it down for you, probably every single item in this room was, maybe not every item, maybe like 70% of them was purchased from a mental state of me trying to escape feeling something instead of me being present. And so now that I have all of these things that I have collected in my reality, I have to be present with them now. Otherwise, I am creating waste, and that is bad karma, okay? Like I told you guys, my whole life is very karmic. So now that I have done this, like I literally have to make this space a wonderland that we can all enjoy. Or I'll give stuff away. You know what I mean? So The only thing that I have to say is that by being present with my pain and being present with my suffering and my trauma and like the wounds that I have, especially with being present with the feeling of helplessness, that has been the hardest feeling to be present with. But I'm never disappointed when I do my best to be present with those things. And I'm always disappointed with myself when I run away from that opportunity. Does that make sense? And so even when it gets so hard, like I didn't want to go on live because I didn't feel the best. I was just like, it's so late. Who the hell is even going to jump on? Like I'm like I should probably just get to bed. I should just try. I should go take off my makeup. Like I should just like maybe just journal, like I don't know. But like I was just very urged to jump on live because I couldn't sleep. You know, like I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect, but like that's kind of why my dragon guardians like always push me to try and go live every single 24 hours as much as I possibly can, because I'll never know who might come across my video and who might need that. You know, I'll never know who might come across my video and leave a message that might change my life. Like you guys change my life all the time in these chats. Do you understand? Like you guys like really like we help, like this is a symbiotic relationship. Like I hope people understand. Like I know some people treat their channels like like a what, no, not a symbiotic, parasocial relationship, which basically just means like and don't get me wrong, like we will always have a parasocial relationship on a type of level, because like I don't like know you guys in real life, and I don't have like all of your guys' phone numbers, and I don't like work with you guys like per se. I'm trying my best to explain this, but like the reality is that even when we like connect with each other on this chat, like the type of like channel that I have created here is one that allows us to share ideas openly and freely, and a place that gives us power to shut down people who would try to silence our discussions or our beliefs or make us question ourselves. And so, with that being said, here on this channel, we are co creating this environment where we get to help each other, which, if you ask me, feels very much like a symbiotic relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I literally have reached a point in my life where I would not be functioning as best I could without the hatchlings. Like, period. Like, I just would not be the same human being. Like, I would not have the same quality of life without you guys. And so I do my very, very best to try and like provide the same thing to you guys. And I see a lot of people, especially in the type of work that I do, like my real job. Like my real job isn't YouTube anymore, funny enough. But like with my day job, like I just see like influencer after influencer after YouTuber after TikToker, you know, after like up and coming artist or like actor or actress, like with audiences that are like huge, like bigger than like, you know, the Hatchling clan, and like sometimes even more like rabid fan in a way that they would just like, you know, just fangirl behavior, right? And the attitudes that some of these people like have towards the audiences like that are just like they could care less. And that really, really blows me away. Like, it blows me away. And, like, sometimes I don't always see it. You know what I mean? Like, up front. Like, I literally don't always see it at first until it's like a boom. It's, like, revealed to me in some spectacularly awful fashion. And I'm like, oh. I have to, like, clutch my pearls a little bit. I'm like, I gotta get out of this. Like, I can't be doing this. Like, that's why every single time I have those experiences, I'm just reminded that I'm like, okay, I'm just meant to be here for the hatchlings. And like a lot of people are doing this for like the culture of being an influencer. I said what I said. And I love people on all of the sides, okay? Like, I genuinely love every single human being. And just because you can't comprehend how I love every single human being, even the bad ones, doesn't mean that I don't love them. It just means that you should think about it. You know? But some of you guys make it hard, okay? Some of you guys challenge me. Okay. Yes, it was my birthday on June 23rd, but I spent the entire week leading up to my birthday crying, feeling and grieving the innocence that I lost, but I'm also grateful for the strong person I am now. Karina Capucci, if I may offer something, a little bit of a perspective that I have recently had to learn, is that when certain things happen to us that quote unquote remove our innocence from us, like for a very quick example, just domestic violence, like maybe you were beat as a child, or maybe you were like sexually abused as a child, for example's sake, that will fry your brain as a child. It will fry your brain as an adult too, but specifically in an awful way when you are a child. It will create a multitude of different developmental issues. It just will. Left unaddressed, you will kind of just operate in this like state that was created based around like your nervous system created for you basically to keep you alive. Might not be the best living experience, but it'll be the one that your nervous system created to keep you alive. However, the thing is with the trauma and stuff, like with that abuse and stuff, like it lives in your nervous system, you know, and it changes you physiologically, yes. But when I have worked with my dragon guardians and my, especially angels, like my guardian angels, when I started working more with angels and more with unicorn energy, something that I realized is that our innocence is never lost. The only thing that feels like it is lost is that our spirit, our nervous system, our being will create castles of identities hard as a rock around us to keep the innocence safely untouched even by ourselves, is what my guardians tell me. And this really, really healed me when I like sat with that message and truly understood it, because it reminded me that what I thought I had lost and what I had been grieving the loss of was with me all along. And it had been only but an illusion that I had created for my own protection. And I had to weep with gratitude after that. Mine is a fortress, yeah. Alfred Cordova. And you know what? For those of you guys out there who have built these fortresses of identities upon identities to encase your innocence, I am feeling called to say, especially as a man, because I think that men are denied the experience of being innocent. That might be a hot take, but my dragon guardians told me to say that in this context. Especially if you have been abused as a little boy or a little girl, you have to understand that you never lost those parts of yourself. They still live within you. Like the little girl who I say, like I, like as Azura, like make these videos to find, like I know she's still in here. Do you know what I mean? Like I know I didn't lose her, but I thought that I did for a long time. I thought that it was just gonna be me. We were just never gonna get there. We're never gonna get that part back. I couldn't have been so much more wrong than that. The point, the goal, is to unify all of us as one. That is how we win from the abuse that we've endured that fractured us into a fortress around the princess. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I get what you totally mean, hun. I'm the same way. Yeah. I always held on to my essences. Yeah, exactly, Lunar Rainbow. I totally resonate with that. Like, there was a part of me that always refused to give up the little girl inside of me that loved being alive, that loved being with her imaginary dragon guardians. Because, like, when I was a little girl, I used to talk to my dragons. I remember, like, my first dragons honestly looked, one of my first dragons looked a lot like this one. Not exactly, obviously, but like, it's just like, I always knew they were there, and I always, like, would play with them, like, if I was in the pool, or if I was, like, on the playground, or if I was, like, you know, like, at the beach, or, like, in the forest, or, like, you know, living life. Like, I would, like, play with my imaginary dragon guardians. Like, it was only the adults around me that called them imaginary. And I know that the wisdom that some of my dragons told me scared the adults that I was around, because they were like, how do you know that? And so then if I had adults around me who had a Christian perspective, or who had a Mormon perspective, or a Catholic perspective, of course they were going to think that the devil was whispering to me. Hence, insert my religious trauma. You know? And then it's like, I have such a very unique experience, just probably because the tism. And, like, I'm just a little neurospicy, okay? And my family, like, some of my family liked some of it. My dad always encouraged it, like, as best as he could. And, like, it really scared, like, my mom and my brother, and, like, even my sister here and there. And, like, it really, really scared, like, my extended family too. Especially my grandparents, who were just really religious. But, like, I was, like, I remember on, like, my dad's side of the family growing up, I wasn't allowed to, like, wear my pentacles, like, out in the open. I had to, like, chuck them in my shirts, because when I was, like, a teen, like, I, like, was very open about it. That's when I, like, first started this channel. I was like, I'm literally Azura DragonFaether, like, on YouTube. I'm not gonna go back in the closet for my family. Like, I was just, like, I didn't want to do that. It, like, felt so awful. Like, it felt wrong. And, like, I complied a few times, and I really wish that I didn't. Looking back now, like, that was one of my challenges, and sometimes I didn't. But now, this tattoo on my arm, the pentacle tattoo, like, I don't cover that anymore. You know, I'm just like, some people recognize the symbol, sometimes they think I'm a Supernatural fan, and I love that. Like, it's cute. But, like, I'm just not interested in, like, denying myself anymore. And I think you should join me with that. Can we just, like, accept that we're gonna do that together, and, like, hold each other accountable? Like, have you been yourself today? Like, how could you have been yourself a little bit better today? I'll go first. I could have been myself a little bit better today by waking up with a better attitude. Because I know better. Before when I was, like, a different person, yeah, that was fine. But, like, now I know better. And, like, I know that it doesn't matter what time I wake up, I can always wake up with a good attitude, because I know better. That's just what I think. I know what you mean. Oh, I've already read that. I'm a fairy princess inside, and I own it. People tell me to grow up. I tell them I am, but I stay in touch with my inner child. That's who I am. Deal. Lunar Rainbow. Literally. Like, when, and, like, even sometimes, like, the closest people to me will give me a little bit of a side eye, just because of how in touch I am with my inner child. Like, I know that just my existence triggers people. Like, it's not my fault. Like, it's not my fault that me loving being my inner child, dragon fae, little princess, crystal girl, like, crystal magical girl, little whatever the hell. Like, if you can't handle me in my joy, then you can catch my fury, because I am not interested in extinguishing my joy so the other people around me can enjoy me. No. I was abused until I was 24. I am 42 now. 7 years ago, I found your videos on YouTube and became a hatchling. You helped me find my innocence again. Thank you for your help in my healing, Jessica. Thank you for reminding me why I need to always get on this channel and never ever doubt. Like, I can't cry, I have mascara on. But I hope you know how much I'm always here for you. And I will do my best to be here for you more often. Because I don't want you to feel alone. Like, I can only imagine what you've gone through, but I have only the faintest idea if it was like anything I ever endured. Like, you never deserved that, and you deserve to be a child the rest of your life, okay? My guardians tell me that. They were like, after everything you've been through, you were denied your innocence, you were denied your joy, you were denied your play, you were denied your safety, you were denied your innocence, you were denied your light and your magic, you were denied your imagination, you were denied your beauty, like you were denied all of it and your creation. And the rest of your life, you get to be a kid again. And we will protect you. And don't you ever worry about the future. Don't you ever worry about the past. All you have to do is focus on being present here right now, because that is your birthright. We will take care of you. Do you understand? Like, we will take care of you. Like, my dragon guardians tell me, like, don't you ever worry about casting baneful magic. You can if you want to. We'll support you, you know, if it's like warranted, whatever. But like whatever path you choose, like, we're gonna be here regardless, is kind of like what they mean. But it's like, they want me to know that I never even have to worry about it because they got my 6, is what they say. You know, I'm a really big fan of planes, and aviation language comes with the air sign dragon flight obsession. Also, my boyfriend is very much obsessed with fighter pilot jets. I digress. But what I will say is that they got my back. And if you want to work with dragons too, chances are they're already there watching you, excited for you to just figure out that they've always had your back. You know? Let's see. Jessica, we are here for you. I too am 42, and I have been mentally abused throughout my life. You're not alone, hun. Hugs. Lunar Rainbow, I'm so sorry that happened to you as well. You know, like, I'm really grateful that, like, you guys are able to find that, like, you're able to find, like, a light in the darkness of that part of your journey here on this channel, because this whole entire channel is created to reconnect with my inner child and to gain my innocence back and my freedom back by being who I am, my geeky, cheeky, and freaky self, and not being afraid to come out of my shell and be a little hatchling. You know, I don't care if people say, like, what the heck are you? Like, I go to some of these, like, influencer things that, like, I only have access to genuinely because of the work that I do, and, like, they're like, who are you? That YouTube plaque right there, 100K subscribers, that's because of the hatchlings, okay? That's because of you guys. And I will always have a right at that table now because you guys said yes. I'm geeky, cheeky, and freaky too. You guys said yes, we approve. You guys said yes, the hatchlings, I'm one of them. You guys said yes, this is my family. You guys said yes, this is my channel, this is my place, this is my home. And now you guys have given me the power to disrupt spaces that otherwise would be squeaky fine sound in their own little bubbles. You guys gave me that power. Thank you. I hope I can do my best with it. I hope I can, and I will do the best that I can. The apple cider vinegar is helping my apple tree. Dude, apple cider vinegar is helping me. Do you understand? Hold on. I like these drinks called Alive. They are called Alive Ancient Mushroom Elixir. This one's like pretty much empty, but it's called cola, but it's made out of mushrooms. Like, let me read the ingredients for you. Here, I'm gonna show them to you. It says, hold on, can it focus? Sorry, excuse the mess. We're gonna clean it together on live. It won't focus, so it'll focus on my face while I read it to you. So this says, adaptogenic mushroom infusion, reishi, chaga, and turkey tail, black tea organic, raw apple cider vinegar organic, cold pressed apple juice, cold pressed lime juice, cinnamon, erythritol, sorry, that's also organic, cane sugar organic, vanilla extract organic, cola nut, sea salt, black pepper organic, and stevia organic. Love this. Love this. I think everybody should be attempting to utilize apple cider vinegar in their lives. I have been trying, I took a lot of medication, like a lot of pain pills to try and manage my pain when I, like through my attack, like my injury. And it completely destroyed the gut biome, like the gut flora in my like stomach. And so I've been like desperately trying to find a way to like recover the like bacteria in my like gut, because like our gut has a mind of its own too. Like, you have to understand that we have 3 brains. They're not going to tell you this in school though. Like, we have 3 brains. I just gave one of them away. You already know the brain. Can you guess the other heart? Excuse me, the other brain is the heart, because I just gave it away because I'm very tired. But yes, you have 3 brains. The first one is here, the second one is here, and the third one is the gut. And I am of the subscription that this, oop, I just lost my dragon, he'll come back. This part, this brain is the brain of heaven. This brain is the brain of earth, and our gut brain is the brain of hell. And we have to unify the 3 brains for harmony. And when those 3 brains are not in alignment, we have chaotic lives, we get disease, mental illness, we hate people, we hate ourselves. Does that make sense? And we got the dragon back. So yeah, that's just, I felt called to share that with you. And the best ways that I have found, surprisingly, have been healing my gut bacteria has been live juicing, making my electric elixir, I've mentioned it previously, which is just water with lemon juice, pink Himalayan crystal sea salt, or pink Himalayan salt, and baking soda. And then the apple cider vinegar, the adaptogenic mushrooms, and probiotic plain Greek yogurt. I hate that shit. I never thought dairy would help me. Yeah, fixed my C. diff. I like thought that I had C. diff for a while because just the smell. I'll never forget that smell of what happened to me after all those pills. And the only thing that fixed my life was literally yogurt. I had to actually make a TikTok about it because it was that ridiculous. I believe that the stomach is the other brain. Yes. The stomach, the heart, and the actual brain. Those are all of our brains. Aw, hi Dilsey, my best friend's in the chat. On the 15th November, it's the Anthropy Day, so of course anyone who's an alter human. Oh, and there's so much misinformation about it. Do you want to do a live video on Brown Mountain? Ooh, I did not know we had a day. I did not know we had a day. I did not know November 15th was like the day we celebrate ourselves, so I would love to do, maybe I should try and do like a 24-hour live stream. Wouldn't that be crazy if I did like a 24-hour Otherkin live stream? I mean, that's one of the things that I'm most well known for on this channel, so like it would make sense, you know. Let's see, I found turkey tail in the woods last year. Ginger rose, I really want to get better at identifying natural flora, fauna, especially mushrooms, because my dragon guardians first tell me that it's important for me to know. Second, I don't want to pick the wrong mushrooms, and third, I'm too scared because I know too little. So that's amazing you found turkey tail. I just want to say I love you all, and you are all my soul family. We all have each other's back. Huge hugs to you all, no matter where you are in this huge world. Oh, Luna, you're so sweet. Hugs. You guys are literally like the best people. That's good bacteria. Alfred Cordova, thank you. Well, it changes every year. It depends on the moon. Last year was the 27th of November. Are you talking about? So what are you saying then? It's not like a specific day on the calendar? It's like a day in astrology? You're really throwing me for a loop here. I'm trying my best. Because of its straining and fermentation process, Greek yogurt has less lactose than regular yogurt, milk, and even ice cream. Excuse me, Jessica? This is what I mean by like, these live streams are just as important for me as they are for you guys. Let me tell you something. I improperly named the Hatchling clan, okay? I named it a clan because dragons, most of their like mythology and lore like refers to groups of dragons as clans, okay? So that's why I did that one. Also, fun fact, I really loved the warrior books as a kid, and those were like clans of cats, and so I was very influenced when I made this channel by the clan thing, okay? But I should have named the Hatchling clan the Hatchling Hive, because the truth is when we like chat with each other like this live, we operate like a hive mind, because like you were literally like informing me on things that like I would never probably have learned any other way. You know what I mean? Like you guys literally are dropping facts in this chat, like, because guess what? And like, fun fact, most of you guys, if the algorithm served you my content, even though I don't label my content as like autistic content or like neurodivergent content, like my content is neurodivergent coded, okay? Like the algorithm is gonna feed you my content if you're neurospicy probably first, okay? So with that being said, that means that all of you guys are probably really, really smart in your special interests. Or like you guys have really good memories at just like knowing things that like, why would you know that? It's a very autistic or like neurospicy quality, right? Like I just have I'm like an encyclopedia. My friends literally joke about it. They're like, let's go ask our encyclopedia, and they'll come and ask me something. Why does X do Y? Or what does this mean? Or blah blah blah. And I'll probably know. Like I don't know why. You know? So like when you guys like share things with me, and then like I like process it with like with what I know, and then I'm able to like bounce back with you guys, and you guys, it's like it's so much fun. I love random knowledge. Dude, same. My favorite thing is learning as much as I can and then cross-referencing things and finding the connections within the things that I know. Because guess what? We're all connected and everything is connected, and the mushrooms told me that. The mushrooms told me that. The dragons reminded me, and the Quran confirmed it. Okay? So I will never question that belief ever again. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah, I agree. It's so confusing. I just Google it when it's the Entropy Day in 2024 and when in 2025 Rainbow Luna. What the heck? I don't understand. I don't understand. Sarah, I've been wanting to tell you, I feel your soul connection with me so strong lately. I hope you know I'm with you outside this live chat. Love you. Oh, that's really sweet, Luna. I like really feel that too. Like, and I honestly feel like that's part of like, you know, the shift in consciousness that like I've really noticed since 2020 especially. I've been part of like, you know, the like wild thinkers. I'm an Aquarius. Obviously, it's like kind of part of the program. When you're an Aquarius, you're just gonna like think crazy things sometimes. And so I was always with the like hippies and like free thinkers, and like, you know, like some of the little people were a little mad, you know, that I talked to like growing up with their ideologies and stuff like that, but like I was always the one to give them the time of day to listen to them. And because of that, I made a lot of friends in a lot of wild places that told me things that otherwise I would never have known had I not sat down and listened to them. And like being able to like compound all of the knowledge that I've not only acquired through my studies, but through talking to people and hearing their life stories, and like, even on the internet, like listening to people share their experiences and what worked for them. Like, and then like the best thing that I've ever done for my life is listen to the desperate pleas to be like listened to. Like the people who are begging to be heard the most, the loudest, are the ones that I listen to first, right? You know, it's so important, and like doing that has revolutionized the way that I embody myself, and it's completely changed the way that I engage with my life, with the way that I engage with my world. And like because of that, I feel so connected to every human being, in the sense that like I don't really like, I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you guys a secret right now that I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble by my dragon guardians or not, because they're not telling me, they're not giving me any sort of anything right now. So I'm just going to spit this out. But I've really just been getting this feeling right now that like you're the only thing that exists in the universe, and everything is here created as an extension of you. So that means you are me and I am you. And I know we've said that before, but that is just a little bit more of an in-depth dive to that concept, because like if we really are just hallucinating our reality like the CIA says we are, like then maybe I really am just creating this projection for my own evolution and my own experience, my own wisdom, my own adventure. It's like a choose your own adventure kind of thing based on what you do in here. Like that's why I say like you have 3 brains, you know, and based on how you are taking care of your 3 brains and using your 3 brains and fueling them and charging them, like that's going to determine the reality that you generate. You know what I mean? Like, and so now I choose to see everybody as just an extension of me, which is why I say I love everybody. And even if you can't understand that, it's because the ones who get it, get it. You know what I mean? What's some of the wild things that you heard about from your hippie friends? If you can share. Let's see. Let me take one. Yeah, so there's actually this one guy that I used to know, who let me actually do a video guided tour of his like Book of Shadows. If you're like a really OG subscriber on this channel, you will be familiar with that video. I am not sure if I had to take that video down when like we stopped being friends, because there's certain videos that I've like privated because like I was actually getting into trouble with just certain people that are like no longer in my life. But this guy did a lot of drugs, okay? He did a lot of acid, he did a lot of mushrooms, he did a lot of psychedelics. And reading his Book of Shadows and his journals was like the most God-given like blessing I've ever like been granted, because this man was also a very talented artist. Like he eventually started doing tattoos and like would tattoo himself. And if he ever sees this video, he'll know exactly who he is. Like he'll know exactly that I'm talking about him. And I hope he knows that like I'm like I've got nothing but love for the guy. You know what I mean? Like we were very young. We were a group of people doing a lot of drugs, things like that. But hold on, pause for dramatic effect. What's up? No, they know. You can't show them. My address is on it. You can't show it. It's right there too. Okay. I showed him a little bit earlier. I think I know who you're talking about. You remember it? You remember the video I'm talking about? I remember those videos in the custom BOS. Yeah. Okay. That guy, that Book of Shadow tour that I did, he was crazy. And what he showed me, like my time that I spent with like that group of like hippie people, and I used to make vlogs with them, if you know, you know, we were doing a lot of drugs, and I'm sure you could probably tell. But we would like work with crystals. The first time I ever saw a fairy was like with those people, and it's because like they were very like, they were more fairy energy than I was. I was like essentially like when I do meditations on like the knowledge that I've learned from those times, because my dragon guardians tell me I'm supposed to go visit those times in meditation many times because there's many lessons in them. Like I said, very karmic life. Like all of the relationships I have in real life are just like very karmic. Like all of the things that every single moment of these relationships, even my boyfriend who just came in, is part of introducing me an invitation to make it right or to make it worse. That's the best way I can say it. And the only one connection that I have in this life that don't really present me with that decision is you guys, the hatchlings. Like you guys, I'm like, oh, we're just the same. We're just literally the same person. Like when I'm hanging out with you guys, I literally feel like I'm the same person. Like sometimes I feel like I'm just seeing multiple versions of myself in the chat. It's really crazy. Even the weirdos, like, do you know what I mean? I resonate with that. Those weirdos too. Anyway, sometimes that's a whole box that I don't want to open up, but I've been through a lot of bullshit. Back into what I was saying. I learned about the Merkaba when I was working with them, and the way that they like told me about it was through the perspective of what they saw when they were like tripping all the time. Like they did so much like work with the some of it was abusing drugs obviously, but like I'm not immune from that. I was one of these people, okay? We were friends, obviously. You are who you hang out with. But like they took like the like LSD a little bit harder than I did. In the sense that like it was like sometimes every weekend, like sometimes every single day, like a long time, heroic doses, just ridiculous. And they would use these experiences as like spiritual initiations and do the best that they could to document all of the knowledge that they were getting. And for those of you guys who have used psychedelics, you will know that it is very difficult to write, to draw, to do any sort of logical functioning. It's very much just a feeling type of experience. Even speaking is very difficult. Like I would try to put on music and connect the Bluetooth from my phone to the speaker, and I was like, this is witchcraft. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this technology? Like I was just like beside myself, okay? And they showed me the actual like they had like these drawings of like the energy vortexes of our bodies and like how we could like consciously tune into the energy of our aura and create it to manifest like the life around us. And the only reason why they knew this is because they were using, you know, the substances to kind of like hack their minds to unlock the, you know, to unlock the knowledge, you know. And all these substances do is just like connect your brain neurons and different parts of your brain, your primal brain, to your more newer developed brain, like all at the same time. Like it just gives you more access to you. Not for everybody. Some people will fry their brains, and it happens all the time. Like I have lost one of my cousins on these substances, okay? Not in the sense that they like passed away, in the sense that they didn't come back from one of their trips. Like they just different. Merkaba is the tree of life, right? Yes. So this is something else that they taught me. They didn't say it explicitly in these words. Through revisiting my time with them, my memories, and some of the videos that I have, both public and private, of just like, not like, what's the word? The videos I have of them aren't like weird. It was just like of the like the spiritual experiments we were doing. Like we were very like, we called ourselves psychonauts, honestly. If you know, you know. So like we would just like experiment with each other, and these people, while they were very open-minded and they were into some crazy occult knowledge and very witchy in their own right without calling themselves a witch or claiming the label of a witch, my outright practices of my left-handed path, like I practice curses, and I was not going to be silent about that just because like I talked about it on my channel, you know what I mean? Like my dragon guardians tell me that my lifetime I'm supposed to use my voice and be as loud as I can about who I am and not be afraid. Like that is my journey. And even around my friends, it scares everybody in my life at one point. They are afraid of just the unknown about me. They're like a lot of people start acting weird when they realize they don't know what I'm capable of. Fair. Fair. If you really knew me and you really had trust in me, you would know that once I love you and you're in my life, no one can touch you. I would literally destroy them. Do you understand? I'm Azura DragonFaether. I would destroy anyone who would touch my family or my hatchlings. Like, in every sense. In every part of my power and privilege and prophecy. Like, I will get you. Do you understand me? Only if you deserve that shit or you come from my people. You know what I mean? Like, and if you, and some people, you know, like, have a lot of conditioning about the type of practices that I do, and they just think that I'm something I'm not, and that will never be my fault. You know? Have you looked into the tree of death? I was about to say, funny that you bring that up, through working with, you know, my dragon guardians and just trying to like remember a lot of these experiences, because I was under the influence of a lot of drugs. I don't remember all of it clearly, obviously, which is why I'm very grateful I have some vlog footage of these times and of these like books and stuff that we were like doing and like working on. But like my book of shadows that's like iconic on this channel is the book that like I created right around the same time. It was a little bit before like this like group of friends that I had was like all working together, like doing our like weird psychonaut shit, spiritual experiment stuff. But like we kind of all had our own book like that, and we were all kind of doing our own thing. It was very much like an informal coven now that I think about it. But like I learned from those times, one, that we're all connected. Two, that I deserve to be present with people I love and with people who love me. And third is that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, and my conscious awareness of that can manipulate it. And everything that I learned from them is that like our energy is very much like a tree. But you have to know something about a tree. A tree first starts out as a seed that is planted in the dark earth, and it first must grow its roots deep, deep down to hell. And only once it has secure roots in the darkness can the tree grow and sprout to the light of the sun and bear fruit for all to enjoy in her shade. You know? Like, a tree's branches can only get as high into heaven as low as its roots go to hell. And like, that's why along my journey, my dragon guardians say that I have the dream that I do for a reason. And I haven't had it happen for me yet in the way that I wanted it to for a reason. And it's been for my own protection. Because when you shine a spotlight on yourself, if you don't have the darkness within you to handle it, and I mean that in the sense of like a counterbalance, if you don't know your own darkness, your own shadow self, if you don't love that and embrace that and like have a control over it instead of it having a control over you, it will fry you alive. Psychologically, physically, sometimes people lose their lives, sometimes people take their lives, people get into addictions, people get abused, people get kidnapped and abducted, people, we just don't know what happened to them, you know? But here's the thing, like the only thing I'm supposed to be right now is present, period, and show up as how I want to, how I'm guided to, and only question myself when I feel like my intuition is telling me to, or I feel guided to, again, because I'm just a very intuitive creature. And sometimes You know, like I have faith in my guardians, and I have faith in, you know, my God and my goddesses and just the universe in general, that if I need an alternative experience or perspective presented to me to think more clearly, that it will find me through my algorithm. And now I'm curating my algorithm as my tool. Like, my algorithm isn't a tool to control me anymore. Like, my algorithm is a tool for me to control my world, you know? Like, you can do it. You can do it too. You know, like, you just have to first practice your presence. Like, that is the key to all of this, which is why when I cannot sleep and when you cannot sleep either, like, I just encourage you to be present in your whatever is keeping you from being able to sleep. Are you stressed about work? Do you feel like you have to be doing something? Like 9 times out of 10, it's your, you know, your shadow self screaming at you at night to pay attention to the wounds on your heart that need light casted upon them to recover, to help you get to where you want to go. And it's hard to do that sometimes late at night when we're all alone and we don't know why we can't sleep, and we're sometimes even mad about it because we have work in a few hours, or we have this to do, or whatever to do, you know, prior obligations that have been thrust upon us or whatever. Like, sometimes you just have to allow yourself to be an insomniac and explore that. And sometimes you just have to allow yourself to be awake and to not be awake on your phone, but like, what can I do with the time that I'm awake right now? Like, yes, I want to be on my phone. So how can I make this worthwhile, not only for like my life but for others? Jump on live. Who knows who's going to jump on? I don't know, unless I jump on live, you know. I just had a trippy realization. My profile picture is an art piece I made back when you were making those vlogs. I was watching one while making it. I was inspired by your energy. What? Jessica, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. See, you guys, see, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, just by being, like, open enough, because I know there's some of you guys who are watching the videos, right, that, like, don't necessarily comment in the live chat, like, because you guys are shy, which is fine. Like, there's no pressure to like chat here. You don't have to. I know some people listen to these lives of mine like a podcast, or like just something they do while they like work out or like drive to work, which is honestly an honor. Thank you, first of all. But like, you guys just being vulnerable enough to share little things like this with me in my life, you don't understand how like impactful that can actually be. Like, when I'm realizing these things, like, you're reminding me who I am and like what I'm capable of, when the world around me, like my reality around me, even some of the people around me don't understand and don't appreciate it because they just don't know. Like, because I just don't know. Like, I haven't been doing my content creation for that long. Like it's like, again, like, I've been doing it for a long time, but like, I like jumped off for like almost 3 years, and I only have been like going live and posting a little bit of shorts here and there, but I haven't even posted like a real official YouTube video yet, you know. And it's because like, I'm just an entirely like different person with the same core. I've never let it, you know, like, I've never let it go, but like, I just had I have been through so much that have forced me to evolve and change and transform. And I've had to like die and rebirth myself so many times just to stay alive. But like, that's also part of the path of the dragon. You know, like, you have to walk the path of the dragon seriously. And like, if you say you walk the path of the dragon and you don't walk it seriously, like, it never ends well for people's mental health. And it's not their fault, because the honest truth is that we're all trying to find the truth, because we're all trying to remember who we are, because we've been so conditioned to forget, which is why I just have so much love and space for as many people as I possibly can. You know, like, I can only hold space and love people as much as I can hold space and love myself, which is why my dragon guardians tell me I need to put my mask on myself first. Like, I'm supposed to take care of myself first and consistently throughout the day. And the last thing I do in the evening should be taking care of me, because like that's what matters. And funny enough, when you do that, when you like honestly like selfishly prioritize yourself in a way where like you honestly like say, fuck, I don't give a shit about anyone else. If you literally do this the right way, like you're able to balance the energy by the law of paradox. When you take care of yourself the most, everybody else gets the best version of you. Therefore, you will get the best version of your relationships. You will get, like, just the world will echo the best parts of itself back to you, because why? You're showing up as the best, most healed, most full version, whole version of yourself. And it took me so many years to collect all of the fucking shattered pieces of my soul throughout this lifetime and many others, both generationally and spiritually, in this world and other worlds. Like, I had to do so much collecting of myself. I had to collect myself through so many impossible places and spaces. I had to find the light, and I did, and I put her back together bit by bit, you know. And that's why I can finally show up now as the person who I am, the Azura DragonFaether I am today, because like I have done that work, you know. And it took so many years, but guess what? Like, now my dragon guardians tell me that if I'm just consistent at being as present as I possibly can, at following my joy and creating what I love right here, right now, I'll have everything I've ever wanted, and everybody in this entire world is going to be so much better off because of it, even if they never know who I am. Like, it's going to heal the world, because when you heal yourself, you heal the world, you know? Like, every single thing you do to choose a better way for yourself makes more of an impact than you will ever understand in this lifetime, you know? You and Harmony Nice helped me to find my magic name, and I've used it for years now. Oh my gosh, Ginger Rose, that's such an honor. Like, thank you for allowing me to be that kind of a role in your life. Like, thank you for choosing to click on my videos and give me the time of day and like engage and leave a comment and like share that with me, because like that just reminds me that I need to never stop, because like what I do matters. And if what I do matters, then what you guys do matter. So even if you feel like you could never even be anything like me, like, it's funny because you already are. You know? Same here. Picked up many pieces, managed to put together a wing. Yeah, I love that. That reminds me of like collecting your feathers so you can fly. That was like one of my like original dragon guardians. Like, basically, I had this moment when I was in an abusive relationship that like I was told to collect my feathers to fly. And it's basically a lesson in doing little acts for yourself that make you feel brave and confident enough to go where you know you belong, and to leave where you know you're not wanted, you know? And sometimes I still have to do that to this day. And recently I had to just decide, like, I'm gonna be so picky. I'm gonna be so picky about just where I choose to go, like, in my body. Like, I don't know if I want to be going to certain things anymore, and I'll say no more often, and I have, and I do. And sometimes people stop inviting me to things, but like sometimes they don't, and sometimes I'll still go. And when I do choose to go to certain things, and I do choose to be present in, you know, especially high profile places, like, I need to show up as the most top tier version of myself, the most present version of myself, because when I do that, you guys, when I truly just embody myself presently and I don't change myself in any way, shape, or form, especially at events where there's high profile people, that in and of itself is an act of rebellion. That in and of itself is an act of revolution. That is in and of itself an act of me taking my power back, especially as a woman, as a witch, and as an autistic person. You know, because they do not want people like me to feel comfortable enough to show up as our wild selves, because it makes them uncomfortable. And when we do show up in our wild selves, fully embodied, fully in our joy, we sparkle in a way that they just don't understand how it's possible. So I sometimes, people, yes, sometimes the people I'm around will question, like, she's a witch. We looked at her channel. Like, why are you around her? Like, who is she? Is she evil? Like, I don't want her around my kids. Like, well, I don't know what to say about that. You know? Yeah. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Dude, I love Kelly Clarkson. I grew up with her. Love that. Yep, today me is better than yesterday me. Alfred Cordova. That is what I try to do every single day. That is the only thing I can do. Do you understand? It's the only thing I can do. I have been following you for 5+ years, and you have always been an encouragement, including your name and intentions in my protective spells. Interesting. I don't really know how I feel about that, but you do what you do. I might have just read that wrong, but I'm really grateful that I could, you know, be an encouragement. You know, like, I want people to explore themselves, like, in a spiritual sense, because, like, that's probably, it's funny enough, like, the country that I live in, like, we have this thing called the Bill of Rights, and, like, one of them is, like, I don't know, the freedom of religion. Funny enough that when people actually start to practice their freedom to the religion of whatever they want, like I do, they have a lot of problems with that. They do. In the sense of, like, they want to, like, actually sometimes commit criminal offenses against me to make me not be myself. Maybe one day I'll talk about it. Maybe one day I'll say names. Maybe one day, and they hope I won't. Maybe I will. I really hope I will be brave enough one day. But, like, the only way I'm gonna get there is if I, like, speak loudly and proudly and claim space and own who I am and show up and not be afraid. And even if people are gonna, like, people are allowed to, like, not see me correctly, like, and I am allowed to feel safe being myself when people don't see me correctly. That has been the hardest thing. No, I do not do acid. Shit fried my brain a little bit. But, like, I genuinely need you to understand that, like, the more that I'm present as myself, the better I am, the better I feel, and the more people actually respect me. Like, funny enough, you know, I thought that, like, sometimes people have a lot of weird vibes. You know, like I said, I trigger some people with just, like, being myself, especially the religious ones. The religious ones really don't like me sometimes, and that's fine. I don't have to be in your space. But, like, if I'm invited into your space by somebody who's not you, then it's not your space, and I deserve to exist here too. Surprise. Gotcha. I know that one's kind of funny sometimes. Gotcha. You know, like, I have to make a little pointer here, disclaimer. Like, 9 out of 10 people in the industry that I work with are sweethearts. Like, I have never had an issue. They're very open, welcoming. Sometimes they're even, like, very curious, like, and they'll ask me about my practice, and I love it, right? But, like, the ones that I'm talking about, like, when it does happen, it's very jarring, and I need to, like, vent about it, especially with just what my channel is, period. Like, how in the fuck would I be authentic if I had this channel and I went through stuff like that in real life and, like, didn't talk about how it makes me feel and, like, how I, like, overcome it on my path? Like, I thought that was my responsibility as a content creator in this space, like, in the religious, spiritual, witchy space, you know? But, are there other witches, or are you the only one? Oh yeah, there's definitely other witches. And there's a lot of them that don't want you to know they're witches, and that's fine. Some people have a lot of power when they play the game that way, you know? But, like, the only reason why I have a seat at the table is because I decided to share my journey of discovering magic was real, so I'm gonna own that shit first. You know? And, like, sometimes like people spot that, you know, like sometimes other like witches will spot me, you know, and they'll like give me the look. Like if you're a witch and you spot another witch in a space that witches aren't supposed to be, you just know, okay? You just know. I've had this experience, okay? Like if you know, you know. Some of them are open about it, most of them are not. It's becoming more acceptable now because like witchcraft has become so trendy, especially on TikTok. But just like the whole like tarot cards and crystals and like candles and like you know, like just like especially with the whole like Wiccan movement, like it's very very trendy to be a witch nowadays. On the flip side, a lot of people who like call themselves witches and are very like a lot of people are misguided or new to their craft, and like there's this crazy phenomenon when the less someone knows about a subject, the more confident they are in what they know, and the more that someone knows in a subject, the less confident they are in their knowledge. So like pay attention to the witches who claim that they know everything about a subject and are quick to come up with a reason why a counter argument may be wrong, and who aren't ever going to admit that they might not know everything. That's all I'm going to say on that. Because like at the end of the day, like everybody is on their own journey to remembering who they are, because we're so systemically forced to forget that. Like all I have to do is just like remember that like it really is about me. Like I know it's so funny, but like it's all about you, girl. Like nobody else. It's all about you. You want to know why? Because the world behaves based on how you interact with it. You know, like especially other human beings. Like the way you react with other human beings determines how they respond to you. You know, that's why I can tell my boyfriend like you look stupid and hurt his feelings, or I could be like you look stupid and like make him feel like shy, like cozy, like you know, flirty butterflies, right? It just depends on the way you say things too sometimes, and the way you present yourself, and it's how you show up, right? Brings me all the way back to like the presence thing. I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. Do you know the full quote of that? It's actually, I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none, but it is better than a master of one. See, someone just dropped it in the comments. You guys are You guys are awesome. Do you guys hear shit? I think I'm hearing some 4th of July bullshit outside. Hopefully it's not guns, because we do live in America, okay? Unfortunately. But it is close to that 4th of July time. Oh yeah, I just heard some sparklies. So somebody is doing some shit. I hate fireworks, just so you know. I have to look outside because it could be bad. I don't have too much visibility from where I am. I don't even think you guys can hear it on the live. But last year, where I live, for 4th of July, people were setting off fireworks from the rooftop. It was awful. So, yeah. Yeah. All I gotta say is that the more you learn, the more fun life is, the more you work harder at developing the skills you love, the more they'll pay off for you. The more you open your mind, your heart, and trust your gut, the further you'll go towards what you love to experience in life. And if you lose your mind to return to your senses, it'll really enable you to be as present as possible, and that's when you become powerful. All of your power exists here only in the present moment. And the only time you lose your power is when you give your power of your attention to the past or the future, or you allow somebody to have the power to hurt you, to influence you. If you value someone's opinion, you're giving them power. You know, if you love somebody, you're giving them power. That is a risk you take in love. But here's the thing. I do have to go because I'm going to probably go get some sleep and journal a little bit. But what I'll leave you guys with for this live is just really do your best to be as present as possible. And ask yourself, ask your guardians, even just journal and find a way to what presence looks like for you. Because for some people, presence for them looks like meditating in a forest, and for some people, presence for them looks like running in a race. It just depends who you are, you know, like, but the only way you're gonna know where your presence belongs and where you like to be present is if you spend some time in the present moment, you know? So remember that your past, your present, your future is all happening right here, right now, and everything is exactly as it should be right here, right now. Like, you don't have to become this better version of yourself. You don't have to heal yourself. You don't have to enlighten yourself. You don't have to work with dragons. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to do anything other than stuff yourself full of Doritos and Cheetos if that is what you wish. The whole point of this planet is to come here to make a choice and see what happens, so we get to learn along the way. You know, even the people who do horrible, heinous things in this lifetime, believe it or not, like, that is also an experience and a perspective, and people come here to this planet to experience that. I'm sorry, it's ugly sometimes, but on the flip side, we live in a world of duality. We have night and day, light and darkness, yin and yang, and for as dark as it gets, we have just as much light. Sometimes it's just not as televised. But if you tune in and you know where to look and you know where to find it, you'll be able to find the most beautiful things that you never knew existed. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening, a wonderful morning, afternoon, wherever you may be in this world. But I hope you know that you have made my evening so much better today. Thank you for jumping on this live. It's always so much fun hanging out with you guys. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky, little hatchlings. Blessed be, and bye. And get some sleep. Seriously, go brush your teeth. Like, for real. Me too. I'm saying that for me too. But anyway, good night.